Good morning, everyone. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hasn't Miss Marlise really let herself go? But she's not feeling well, or someone isn't feeling well, so she's not here, and you're stuck with me. But the good news is that after assuring my brother that I can indeed read, he gave me a story to read to you. So, shouldn't be too bad. Anyways, this story is called A Flat Tire Just in Time, from a book called Missionaries Don't Cry by Goldie Down, probably a pseudonym. Anyways, it's about this missionary dude named Paul Gilbert, and he was a doctor working in a Seventh-day Adventist leper hospital in a country called Zambia. Anyway, he and his wife, who is also a nurse, and who is nameless in this story, travels to a bunch of villages, and they're doing good missionary work, as is their wont. Anyways, one of the clinics that they want to help is having problems. What are some problems you can think of that a Seventh-day Adventist clinic might have? Not enough money? That's a common one, yeah, absolutely. Not enough medicine, they're always running out of things. Out in the middle of nowhere, yes. Competing with, that's a good one too, yeah, there could be. Not enough staff, yes, all these are excellent. But in this particular case, what's going on is that there's a local witch doctor, and he's been spreading rumors about them. And there's a quote here, so I guess I should do a voice. They want to be eating the children for, wait, no, that's more Jamaican. They want to bring your sick kids to the hospital so they can cook and eat them, etc., etc. Ooh, man, that's bad news. Can't wait to see what happens. Let's see. So Gilbert and his wife take their Land Rover, and they start driving to a place called Nanji, which incidentally is the place where they're having these problems. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So while they're driving, Paul's wife reaches over, and she says, "Paul, honey, I have a great idea." He said, "What is it, darling?" "I brought extra food with us so that the villagers there won't think we'll try to eat their children." And he said, "That's brilliant." But at that very moment, they popped a flat tire. Not a lot of great roads out there. And they didn't know what to do. And Gilbert said, "Now don't worry there, dear." And he stepped to the back of the car to grab the spare from the trunk. But there was no spare. There had been one there earlier. He was sure of it. And there was also no equipment to fix the tire that was now punctured and lying lifeless by the side of the road. Well, they didn't know what to do, so as we should all do in difficult situations, what do you think they did? No, they called AAA, obviously. Wait, no, actually they did stop and pray. Good. So yes, you're right. They stopped and they prayed diligently, and they said, "Lord, we don't know what's going on here. We got to get to this village. We got to help these villagers who think that we're hungry to eat kids, and we're really not." And they waited, and nothing happened. So, realizing they had no other options, they hiked the 2 hours back to the place where they had been, and they sent a worker with a tire, he was kind of rolling it along the road, to go fix the Land Rover, which was stranded out in the boonies. Well, the helper arrived a few hours later with the Land Rover, and, this one's got a quote too. It says, "The tire wasn't damaged, it was flat, but I didn't find any nails or thorns in it, so I tried inflating it, and it held air just fine." Well, now there was egg all over poor Paul Gilbert's face, because he didn't understand. Why had the flat tire happen when they really needed to get to Nanji? And why hadn't it not been a big deal? Like something he could have been able to fix, but he didn't? And what? Nothing made sense. Well, anyways, the next day, Gilbert and his wife drove the now repaired-ish Land Rover to Nanji. And the workers there all came out happily. And they said, "We're so glad to see you." Oh, wait, no, it's another quote. It says, "Oh, we were praying that you would not come yesterday." Not come yesterday? But why? I really don't know. Let's find out. Yesterday, the villagers got so angry that a mob had hidden in an ambush along the road, waiting for you with sticks and rocks. Now, do you suppose Paul and his wife would have been in big trouble if they'd rolled up to this place and gotten ambushed? Not saying God couldn't have protected them, but yikes. Well, good, there's a moral here, so I don't have to make one up. It says, often things happen that we don't expect, or that we don't enjoy. So in the story, it didn't make sense, the problems they were having. And fortunately for them, I should say providentially, they were able to see eventually the reason why it happened, but sometimes we don't even get that view. God does use bad things to work out good in the end, but there are times we don't get the answers and we don't see how God uses this for good. And we start to have questions, hard questions, legitimate questions that God understands that we have, but that we need to have a clear understanding of. And one of the big questions that often comes up during hard times is this: if God is all-powerful and God is all-loving, then why does evil exist? How can he let bad things happen? Usually there's a Bible verse here. I don't see one. So there is a Bible verse I did notice somewhere out in the foyer, and the first person to find it after church and memorize it and tell me, I'll give a small prize too. Today's sermon, we'll hear about these questions from one of the most famous suffering people of all times, and we will see how God reacts when he faces those kinds of difficult questions. So be listening carefully, because there's a very important lesson waiting for you guys above and beyond the ones you, of course, just heard. Thank you for your time. You may return to your seats.